Hi, and welcome to this video on students with disabilities and bullying. According to the U.S. Department of Education, bullying is a social, health, and education concern, has become an increasingly hot topic in school legislation and policy within the last 12 years or so. Bullying in schools is linked to the recent increase in school violence and suicides in our country. Bullying is defined as a repetitive pattern of aggressive behavior that involves an imbalance of power and purposely seeks to emotionally or physically harm the victim. One research states that physical forms of bullying seem to increase through elementary and middle school, while verbal and indirect bullying occurs more in high school age students. Bullying has many long and short-term consequences for the victim. Students who are bullied often have mental health issues that stem from being bullied. They have a greater risk of lower self-esteem, anxiety, depression, and suicide attempts. Students who are bullied are also at higher risk of drug use, not feeling connected at school, and lower academic achievement. Students with disabilities are much more likely to be bullied than students without disabilities. It is estimated that 37 to 69% of students with disabilities are bullied, compared to 20 to 30% of students without disabilities. Another study suggested that students with disabilities are 2 to 4 times more likely to be bullied than their peers without a disability. One reason for this could be that students with disabilities often have limitations with expression and communication. Communication skills are often a needed skill to address the bullying. Other factors could include gullibility, unawareness of risk, and poor judgment. Differences in physical appearance is often a risk factor as well. NC General Statute, Chapter 115C, Article 29C, defines bullying as any pattern of gestures or written, electronic, or verbal communications, or any physical act or any threatening communication that takes place on a school property, at any school-sponsored function, or on a school bus, that places a student or school employee in actual or reasonable fear of harm to his or her person or damage to his or her property, or creates or is certain to create a hostile environment. This article covers various forms of bullying. The general statute also mandates staff that know of bullying issues report the bullying. This law also mandates that all schools have a plan to approach bullying, including having a statement prohibiting bullying, a definition of bullying, a description of bullying type behaviors, consequences for bullying, an action plan for when bullying occurs, a procedure for prompt investigating, a statement that prohibits retaliation, and a statement on how the incident will be publicized. Bullying is directly linked to social injustice, as the bully plays on having power over someone they deem to be weaker than them. We can help promote social justice by educating our students on what is and isn't appropriate behaviors. By helping our students learn what is right and wrong, we are helping them to be more aware of what is going on around them. All students deserve to feel safe at school. School staff can help with this by working to build relationships with their students, give appropriate supervision, and help teach social skills with their students. Each student comes to us with their own set of unique strengths, weaknesses, and needs. By understanding each of our students' needs, we can help provide them the best educational experience possible. Our school's vision is that we help our students grow emotionally, spiritually, academically, and socially while they are at school. We can help promote individual student needs by helping our students feel supported and valued by listening to them, giving them advice, and help them learn to advocate for their needs and concerns. Students also need to feel like their voice will be heard. What are some frequently asked questions about bullying within students with disabilities? Number one, what are reasons someone engages in bullying behaviors? Bullies are often individuals with their own struggles. Maybe they don't feel comfortable around themselves, or they have their own insecurities. Some also suspect it comes from loneliness or social isolation. What makes someone a possible victim of being bullied? Bullies often focus on differences. Physical or behavioral differences can make a person more likely to be victimized. This is why someone with a disability is much more likely to be bullied than their peers without a disability. Bullies also seek someone who they feel like they can have power over. And lastly, what can we as educators do to prevent bullying among students with disabilities? It is important to teach students with disabilities about bullying. They need to learn how to recognize, report, and avoid abuse. Education on the topic can help these students know what to look for and what to report to a trusted adult. Students need to learn and understand what behaviors are and are not appropriate for school. They need to know what bullying looks like and all the forms of bullying. They also need to know how to report bullying. It would also benefit these students to learn self-advocacy to help them feel more empowered within themselves. On the other hand, parents and teachers need to be listening and responding when someone speaks up. Providing adult supervision is a big key to bullying prevention. Staff should be monitoring hallways, cafeterias, playgrounds, and other common areas. By having an active presence on campus, students will know they are being monitored. Having positive interactions with students and teaching and modeling appropriate behaviors, students will have a stronger sense of what is expected. Also, by supervising more closely, smaller issues can be addressed and corrected in hopes of decreasing bigger behaviors. Parents need to be notified of bullying incidents. School staff should work with parents to address the situation and discuss prevention strategies. Staff are also encouraged to have an ongoing professional development on this topic. Research is conducted often as this is a big item. Staying up to date on new interventions and research can help decrease the risk of bullying in our school. A dilemma and resolution. A fifth grade student with a disability and mental health diagnosis has a history of bullying type behaviors to other students with and without a disability. The student seems to lash out at other students by calling names and expressing dislike towards them when this student gets called down or she feels isolated from her peers. Other students report feeling fearful of this student and dislike being around her because of these behaviors. When not in one of her episodes, this student has a kind heart, works diligently on her schoolwork, and has good manners. Students' disability symptoms have created some of these bullying type behaviors. Students' home life has stressors that likely impact her symptoms as well. Some interventions that would be helpful in this situation are working with the student on appropriate behaviors versus inappropriate behaviors. Rewarding positive behaviors can help increase the chances of those behaviors reoccurring. Teaching healthy responses to stressors. Work with the parent and keep them involved in creating a behavior plan. Guidance lessons conducted on bullying and healthy relationships. Teaching students a Christian worldview approach on healthy friendships. Working with the student's therapist and other support teams to develop a behavior plan and address triggers to behaviors. Utilize episodes as a learning experience while also giving consequences for her action. Here are a couple of resources for further support to help build your confidence and develop interventions on this topic. A couple great websites are the Stop Bullying website and PACER's National Bullying Prevention Center. Thank you for joining in. You can see the attached references used to create this video. Thank you.